What changes can you make to just a few words that will impact your business? Hi, my name is Mangum. I'm a trainer and author, but more importantly, your real estate coach. And that's the topic of this edition of Sell to Serve. As a longtime Toastmaster, I was so excited when the video of the International Champion speech was released. This speech was called The Power of Words. And in it, the speaker made a really good case for how just a change of a few words can significantly impact someone's life. Well, in the real estate business, words are our tools. And very often I hear real estate agents talking about how much we impact people with what we say. And that is particularly true when it comes to the topic of pricing. So what I decided to do for this video was reach over into my Strategic Pricing Specialist Designation course and bring over my top 3 tips for communicating with the seller about pricing. All right, number one is personal pronouns. So I heard someone talking the other day. He was recanting to me the conversation that he had had with the seller about the price. And he was saying things like, well, you know, your house does not compare to your neighbors because your neighborhood. Well, one of the things that happens when you use you and your is that people can feel like they're being punched, you know, like you and your. And sometimes it just makes the emotions worse. So when you're having this kind of conversation, when there's negative information, if you'll just take out the personal pronouns and put in the word the house, the neighbor's house, it helps keep the emotions in check. Number two is anticipate objections. You've heard me talk about it before because I've done a whole video on how to do it. But if you know that someone is going to have an objection because their next door neighbor's house sold for significantly more, or their Zestimate is significantly higher than you think that the house is going to come in at the CMA, then don't wait. Go ahead and bring those things into the conversation in your timing and on your terms. Because if you wait for them to object, then what you have to do is you got a much bigger hill to climb. So just go ahead and bring them in and talk about them. All right, number three is what is called the 6 magic words. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say that I'm talking to a seller about the trends of the market, and I'm saying something like this. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the trends of the market indicate that there's equal supply and demand for a house like yours in this neighborhood, or like this house in this neighborhood. That's a great sentence. There's no problem with that sentence, except that it stops short. If you just add the 6 magic words, what are they? They are, what this means to you is. That's the 6 magic words. So let me go back to that same sentence. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the trends of the market indicated that there is an equal supply and demand for this type of house in this neighborhood. What that means to you is, because you have a time goal, we will have to be very competitive on how we develop a pricing strategy to ensure that you stand out from the competition. That's all it is telling them the reason that it matters to them. What this means to you is relating the fact to how it impacts them. All right, all of those tips were from my Strategic Pricing Specialist course, and there are lots and lots and lots of other tips like that in that course. If you're interested in where it's going to be offered, please make sure to go to strategicpricingspecialist.com to see the current live schedule, and also it is online through realtimelearn.com. All right, if you like what we do, please make sure to subscribe to us on LinkedIn, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our newsletters, or reach out to us on LinkedIn. And by the way, as y'all know, it is the learners who are the earners.